want to be based off of godly principles. They are focused on the Lord and helping the community out. Is extraordinarily important to somebody like myself to be able to take and help to grow a company that I know that is going to impact the world.
Told us, hey, I can't buy from you until you can make my diaform rich kit. That's word for word what he said. I'm like, well, I guess we're going to go get it.
And I look down, we're running about 160. He's right within 5 feet of me. And I'm like, if that thing is stock, I'm going to go buy Camaro. The next day, but I went out and bought a Camaro. I am having a problem getting trim. He bought a brake and a shear, and that's where we were technically born from. That is kind of just the story of our company.
Favorite restaurant?
Ironwood Grill.
Texas Roadhouse.
I thought you'd say El Parian, bro.
Ford, Chevy, or Ram?
It's definitely Ford all the way. I mean, anybody that drives a Ram's got problems.
Looks like I got plenty of problems.
That Ridge family come back to our shop, and we unloaded her, hooked it up, and started making the cab. Like, that is the turnaround. Like, it is a miracle to be where we are today. There is no doubt in my mind that God had a hand in everything we've done.
We just hang out.
Yeah, just chilling.
Yeah.
All right. How you feel?
Fantastic.
Back sore, legs hurt. Other than that, I'm great, man.
Yeah. What's your favorite restaurant? Texarkana.
That's easy for me. That's Ironwood Grill.
Texas Roadhouse.
Really?
Actually,
That's your favorite?
That's actually very difficult.
I thought you'd say El Parian, bro.
I would say it's a mix between either El Parian or...
El Parian?
Yeah,
What is that?
Mexican, right? So, like, let's say you're going down 82, coming up to Walmart, but you're back a little bit, right here on the right hand side.
Okay.
It's the frog place.
I don't guess I've
My
ever been
kids
there.
love it. Well, it's the best Mexican food in Texarkana.
It is good. It used to be old Fiesta House back in the day.
They
I don't know how long
treat
ago that
you with great care when I go there anyways. They bring out my drink before I even
because you're their
sit
top
down.
customer.
He is.
And actually, I mean, we really only eat there on Sundays. And they know. We used to eat there during the week too, but we're budget conscious. And so I'm trying to save money because I'm poor. And so, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. So I'm only going to ask this question because I know we're all different. Ford, Chevy, or Ram?
It's definitely Ford all the way. I mean, anybody that drives a Ram's got problems.
Looks like I got plenty of problems. Yeah, I've been, Mopar guy for a long time.
Mopar guy?
Yeah.
Moparts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Chrysler.
Well,
Yes, sir.
I've been driving Chevy since I was 17. So
I'm sorry. I tried to go to the dark side. One time I was driving a motorcycle and down the road, and I had a pretty fast bike, and I'm just cruising, minding my own business, and this white Camaro pulls up alongside me, and it's like, revs the motor, like, hey, let's race, right? And I said, let's do it. And so hey, he takes off, I take off, and then I look back. Actually, I look in my mirror probably. I look up, and he's back right on my butt. And I'm like, I floored even more. And I look down, we're running about 160. He's right within 5 feet of me. And I'm like, if that thing is stock, I'm going to go buy Camaro. I kid you not, I bet, I don't know if it was the next day or the next day, but I went out and bought a Camaro. And it was wrecked, though. And fixed it up. And I drove it for a while. I hated the car. It was very fast. Do not like how it drives. This Chevy just has this odd,
Cheap feel to it.
just odd feel. Like they just drive different. Now, like the GMC trucks, I could own one of those. I drove a GMC on the farm for a long time, and I enjoyed that. But Chevy, I just don't like. It's the same thing as a Chevy. It's just
yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
different.
What was the year model difference between the the GMC and the Chevy you drove?
Well, I drove the same years of GMC Chevys. The GMCs just drive ever so slightly different for some reason, or they're just I don't know if it's just how it's
Like nicer, like higher quality, maybe.
I feel like it's just something about it that it just feels more strong, like quality.
I guess I have to go drive my sister's Tahoe because we have nearly the same year model. I have a Suburban, she has a Tahoe, but hers is GMC. So I need to go drive it and see.
You should.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, and I know I'm probably super just out of my mind, but that's how I'm weird like that.
I've always been told that the GMC was a higher, quality than Chevrolet, but I don't know. I've never
Yeah.
owned one. So
Well, I guess we're here to talk about metal,
That's right.
do that.
but that was a good little icebreaker. Get us comfortable.
Then you can cut it out and move on.
No, that's how you warm up. You know, Sean Ryan starts his podcast by giving a gun away.
That's what I'm talking
Man, you can do that with us. One of us get it.
Yeah, I'll use Texar's budget.
Yeah.
about. As long as yeah, no, thank you.
We're good.
So
Well, I guess the best place to start is where Texar started. Did somebody just have a bright idea to start making metal? Was there a need that needed to be met? How'd that work?
yeah, so basically, and I'll kind of start a little bit because I think it's important to understand, sometimes business are just randomly somebody has a great idea, and then sometimes there's a need, right? So originally, Texar Metals was started with a need, and Mr. Robert said, "Hey, I am having a problem getting trim," and so he bought a brake and a shear, and that's where we were technically born from, right? And so for a few years, that's all Texar Metals was, is just a trim shop, making customized trims, different things like that. Just really super, super good at what they did, super effective. And then kind of moved along and realized there's a much larger need in the market. A bunch of different local guys in the community are like, we're struggling with whether it's good customer service, delivery, all the just different things that go along with it. Just a need for another person to kind of lead the process along. So kind of got this bright idea to buy a few roll formers, and that's kind of how we were born. And basically, I would say I didn't come on board until Texar Metals had been going for 2 to 3 years, probably. It had already been making trim for a while, and I had currently worked for Mr. Robert, and he said one day, he's like, "Hey, you had been in manufacturing previously, and I think you'd be a good fit. And what do you think about coming over here and trying to grow this?" And I said, "Let's do it." And I knew coming into this that it was going to have a substantial amount of problems and struggles to get where we are today. Because basically, and no fault for anyone's really, but I think there was a lot of decisions made that we had to kind of backtrack a little bit, if that makes sense. And we just learned a lot from our mistakes and pretty much just figured it out, really. So yeah.
Yeah. So the problem was the trims. Eventually it evolved into we can do more than this, and so that's where the vision comes in. What's the vision? Where's this going?
So I would say our vision is customer service.
Absolutely.
We are born from that for the most part. The reason we have our clientele and our customers is because they feel like they're part of Texar Metals. Like when somebody has a need, we fill it. Whether it is through a quick turnaround, whether it is through just helping our customer understand that the need they have, right? So we have clientele that comes to us sometimes and they don't even know what they need at the time, but they know we can help them get there, right? And quite frankly, a lot of times we don't always know what their need is either, but it's asking the right questions. It is looking at different plans and things they might have, or just coming up with a plan to get them where they need to be, right?
Hmm.
And so the sky's the limit for us, and we try to teach all of our employees that. There's nothing that we pretty much can't do, really. We have had all kinds of various requests for whatever, and we try to make that happen and fulfill those needs.
Yeah, I was walking through the shop. Well, I think you told me about it, but I was walking through the shop and noticed the big box, and I said, "What is this?" You said it was a chimney cap, but that's not something that you do every day. It
No,
was just a request, wasn't it?
that was a request, but
Yeah.
we are definitely trying to get more into making specialized items like chimney caps.
Okay.
We've currently made a new style of um, roof boot jack. It isn't necessarily to be watertight, but it's more for an appearance, a look that people are going for. So, metal roofing is just something that continues to grow. Um, Lots and lots of people have different ideas. And so we are just trying to stay current and relevant, trying to come up. We actually have a guy on staff. His main job is product development. Sometimes y'all will be able to meet him. So fantastic young man. He's out here and he's the one that creates most of our specialty products like that. We come up with an idea or a client says, "Hey, I have this situation. What can you do for me?" And so we don't hit it right first time usually, but we figure it out. And through process of trial and error, we get the product that the customer needs, and generally in a timely fashion. So our turnaround time has always been a great need. And, when you're working on a roof and you're trying to finish up, and maybe it's the customer messed up or didn't measure right, or maybe we messed up, we don't like to mess up, right? But no matter who messed up, a lot of times we try to help that guy out pretty quick, get them their products they need,
Yeah.
and then we move from there.
That's cool. So, who was the early team? Was it like early teams and challenges that you had?
Yeah.
I know you were one of the, not the first one, but
So,
who was that initial group?
So yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna probably just name out names, but yeah, there was a core group of people that had originally started. When I moved over, we did actually trim back a little bit on the people we did have. Um, we, coming into it, everybody knows that I'm a go getter a little bit, and so. Uh, there was an expectation set, and I think that we have two people left from that original core group. And also you need to understand that not everybody left necessarily on bad terms. Some people just weren't cut out for the work, but some people had moved on to better things. So that no fault there. But
Yeah.
so we really only have about two core people left. And after I came on, I think, it was about 3 months or something I was setting up certain things. And we had this crazy idea of Mr. Kyle had met this guy at a party, and um, we're like, man, I wonder if he'd come work with us, right? Because while I understand roofing, I understand metal products and things, I understand manufacturing, a lot of information, right? I had never actually specifically sold metal roofing products necessarily as a manufacturing facility to clients. And so we found this crazy guy here, and he was willing to come on board. And like I said, when I say we had some challenges in the start, I'll never forget the day him, myself, and Kyle were walking back to look at one of our new machines we had just got in, and we showed it to him. And why don't you just share kind of like your thoughts on that? And I'm standing over here. I'm not gonna kid you at all. Like I'm standing there like, man, be truthful because
Yeah.
like I already know what this is like. But anyways, you know, sometimes a second opinion is extremely important,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so
Collaboration of a few guys for sure. Man, we yeah, to go right into that, I come walking into this, this warehouse here with Caleb and Kyle, and like, man, this is our very first roll former. What do you think about it? And so I get to looking at it and notice, I mean, right off the bat, there's a few things that I'm like questioning, like, man, I ain't never seen something like that before. What is that? And I know these guys are trying to hire me, and I don't want to like offend anybody, but I'm like, man, I'll just be honest. I don't know that I've seen equipment, this this low of quality. Like it's got a lot to be desired. Can we make it work? Maybe. Probably should look at some other equipment. And the funny part of that is, Caleb and I, obviously now, dude, we're great friends. But like later we're talking about it, and he's like, man, I know you thought that machine was the worst you'd ever seen. I wish you had just hammered in. And I'm like, well, man, I'm trying to make sure they don't hire this jerk, And I'm like, it was the decision that was made, and we've grown from it, and now we've got a lot of really good equipment that we can service our clients with and take good care of those guys. So we've come a long way.
yeah, to be clear, to also just kind of clear the air there on that piece of equipment is, we brought in a whole bunch of this lower quality equipment. Some of it we were able to use, but like that piece of equipment we were talking about, like we wound up not even being able to use it. It didn't even actually make the right profile that we were trying to get.
It's one of the first pieces we actually got rid of.
It was.
Yeah.
And so like that's one of the things, the struggles of a start like this is like, you have to learn things, right? And we obviously learned a lot of things the hard way. But I think a lot of super successful companies and businesses generally, they just stick their neck out and they go for it, and that's
right.
how great companies are generally built. And so we knew from the get-go we wanted to make sure no matter what we had quality product and not just cheap junk, so to speak. Some companies out there, they don't care, right? We want to be based off of godly principles, and I think it's really, really amazing that the owners of our company are godly people, Christian, and they are focused on the Lord and helping the community out. And without that kind of leadership, um, there's a good chance I probably wouldn't be here, frankly, because like it just is extraordinarily important to somebody like myself to be able to take and help to grow a company that I know that is going to impact the world, for generations. And so that's just really cool to me.
Yeah.
That is very cool.
A lot of my next questions were about growth and evolution, those major turning points, investments that changed the company. And I feel like you just knocked all that out of the park just now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I will say to kind of add to that and go ahead and fill in on some of my gaps, but like when you get into like growing into this company and building in and changing out equipment, like it wasn't easy. And I think that it's really important for our listeners to know, like, kind of I mean, it's an exciting journey. Like, this has been nothing but exciting, very stressful. But when we were first rolling out panels, we could run out a building in a day, probably. We could maybe do 2, 3. It was
When you say a building,
challenge.
you mean like
A building,
all the roof metal, the
Building's
siding?
worth of
metal.
material.
Yeah.
the sides, the trim,
Yeah.
all that. Like I'm talking the whole package, right? I wouldn't even know really. We pump out material now. We have
Oh,
entirely
gosh.
different machines.
Yeah.
So like just in the past 2 years, we've transitioned. And we knew from get go, once we had realized that first machine and its problems and issues and challenges, we knew from now on, here's the brands we're kind of sticking with, and we're going to roll because we don't just want to grow a company that's mediocre,
Mhm.
and we don't want to have to worry about whether our product's going to stand the test of time. And so, one of the first machines that, and this was actually 100% Guy because he understood the industry, right? But, there was this R panel ridge cap ender. That seems like super simple. And he's like, if we want to be in this game, we need to have one of these. And so I'm like, whatever, man. And we actually sent a guy all the way to Washington to get this machine.
Wow.
He drove, I don't know, I think it's about 30 hours or so, all the way up there, turned around and drove back. And
He turned that trip in a little over 2 days, about 2.5. He didn't
impressive.
quit. I mean, he stopped and rest for a couple hours. He's right back on the road because we had orders to fulfill.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a very large client that wanted to buy from us, but told us, "Hey, I can't buy from you until you can make my die-form ridge cap." That's word for word what he said. I'm like, well, I guess we're gonna go get a machine.
Diform ridge cap, is that like continuous seamless?
So what that is, you take a 3-foot PBR panel, you stick it in the machine, hit the pedal, and it folds it into a ridge cap. It literally
Okay.
bends a R panel sheet.
Gotcha.
Yeah, peak sheet's another term, but
Okay.
we that guy, he really came through for us. I'm going to get the machine picked up. So
I will tell you, like, that is kind of just the story of our company is like
figuring out how to serve.
serving people.
clients,
He would
yeah.
put an order in and we would figure it out. Like, I mean, we had several orders. That machine that came back, that ridge cap bender, come back to our shop. And we unloaded her, hooked it up, and started making ridge
Immediately.
cap. Like, that is the turnaround. Like, it is a miracle to be where we are today. There is no doubt in my mind that God had a hand in everything we've done up to this point.
Absolutely. The same thing happened with our first standing seam machine.
Yes.
We had orders waiting, and like, man, so actually you and I took that trip to, was it North Carolina, wasn't it?
Wow.
Dude, I don't even remember how that was boy, like we didn't sleep the whole time either.
No.
Like I would drive for, 4 or 5 hours. We'd switch. I may take a cat nap, but I know you guys hadn't ever rode with him. You don't sleep well. Okay. you hang on tight and you're like, oh my gosh, every 5 minutes. But hey, we made it back, to God be the glory.
Yeah.
And got back with our machine, but 30 some odd hours
It
later.
was like 35 hours
Yeah,
later.
dude.
Like, I remember we're coming, we got off on some back roads from Shreveport coming back to Texarkana. And dude, I don't even know how we made it, dude. It is a miracle we made it. Cause like that very last stretch, I mean, we knew we were almost home, but it was all we could do to stay awake.
I don't even remember
Yeah.
a big portion of the
Yeah.
last few hours of that trip.
It was crazy.
You make it to your final destination, you don't remember the drive.
That's
I'm telling you,
What
like,
happened?
dude, was we asleep while we were driving?
Yeah. And then we start rolling out standing seam basically probably, I don't know if
Next day,
next
dude.
day.
Yeah, we're like, load the coal. We got orders. Of course, then you got to set the machine up. It's our first time. We're figuring that out, and man, I just want to, props to like Robert and Kyle for trusting us. We're
Yeah.
like, hey, we need X amount of dollars to go get this machine. And they're like, guys, how confident are we in this? We're like, we got orders waiting, and they're like, go ahead. So, it's good to be trusted
That's right.
by those guys. That's awesome.
Yeah. I feel like every time I come over here, that shop just has another machine in it.
Mhm.
You're doing something new. I don't think I've ever seen that metal behind you.
Yeah. So that is one of our main sales guys actually kind of was working with a client. And again, this goes right back into what you were talking about, Caleb. He comes in and he's like, I've got this idea of what I want my wall to look like. And he kind of brought up some random pictures off Google. And we're like, okay, well, we can just fold a panel out of wood grain printed metal to make it look like that.
Yeah.
So which, I mean, we hadn't patented it or anything, but just like a double plank panel is what we call it. So it's like a 6-inch wide here, and then it's like a 3/4 inch deep rib.
It kind of looks
But
like a
it's-
log.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
does. It is very, very fantastic. And I don't know if you've seen or not, but like, so we're building a showroom over off to the side.
Oh, yeah.
And this is actually going to be on the bottom there for clients to come in, check it out, see it. It just changes things when somebody can come in and see it real time. You know,
Yeah.
pictures are one thing, but to be able to see it in real life, uh, it is absolutely amazing to what the technology today is like on our metals that we can get.
Yeah.
So, and that's another thing too is, you know, our stuff is made right here in America. You know, we strive for quality. You know, well, it's not uh, cheap seconds or anything like that. We try to make sure everything that we sell here um, is 100% got a warranty and it's got some kind of backing. Paint warranty is
Yeah.
generally what it is, but yep.
So
good
you
price.
offer a warranty with everything you sell?
It comes with a paint warranty, right? So like,
Right,
and
okay.
here's the thing is, you know, I won't go into details on that stuff because that's definitely its own subject, right?
Right.
But you know, we had a client call us one day, said, "Hey, I have some Galvalume, and the coating seems not to be right." And he's installing on this big building, and so we jump in the truck, we go out to the job site, check it out. Sure enough, you know, there's a little bit of spackled that wasn't quite right, and so we text the coil manufacturers and said, "Hey, here's what's going on. What should we do?" And they're like, "Hey, not a problem. Just pull all them sheets off and credit them, and then rerun them new sheets." And so, if we weren't dealing with, you know, the right people, we wouldn't be able to provide that kind of a service. Those
Right.
guys would have had to keep installing this panel that was second best, but that's not who we are. We definitely
That's
try
good.
to strive for the best.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, man, y'all are answering a lot of these questions. I was gonna say, like, what sets Texar apart, and all of that kind of sets it
Yeah.
apart.
Well, man, we take pride in not only our craftsmanship, but you know, in our relationships that
Yeah.
we worked hard to build with our clients. You know, we want them to feel like they're a part of our company and our growth. You know, we couldn't do it without them.
That's right.
You know, while it takes an internal team, a lot of our clients, man, I have no doubt would go to bat for us 10 times over, dude. They're very loyal to us because we've serviced them well.
Right.
Uh, and we, you know, we pride ourselves on that.
Mm-hmm. And it's not just the sales people in the front office. It's like our entire team of people. And obviously we have, you know, another location, you know, not just the people up front, it's everybody throughout the shop. So our customers will tend to be, whether they get helped out there in the back or whatever it is, you know, we encourage our guys to communicate with our customers, build those relationships, because when a customer walks through here and they know everybody by name and our people know them by name, there's a respect level. And I think that is vital to any company
Yeah.
for growth, to be able to build those relationships. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Do you have a project in mind that was just particularly challenging, like an order or a building? Something came to mind.
well, I mean, we have done a lot of crazy things.
Several challenging things.
I would say one of them was one time we had a client that was in a very tight situation and needed some stuff a special color. And I don't know if I don't ever recommend this, but we had to, well, actually, I would say we've had to color match things several different times. And that time was specifically not recommended, but we were able to make it come through. And those are the things, though, that really make me super happy. Like when I can go to bat for my customer, when I can go and do something that practically no one else in the industry can do, and take care of them in a way, in a timely manner for cost effectiveness, time also. That's really important to me. And
Well, I remember when my father-in-law was building a metal building, I was trying to help him with that, and we went to a couple of metal shops, and he had a vision for something, and I feel like they just told him, no, we can't do that. We don't have. I don't remember all the details of it, but I feel like coming to somebody and saying, you know what, we can figure something out. It just would be a breath of fresh air if I can
yeah,
speak correctly.
We try to be that breath of fresh air for our customers, man, and for each other. We try to. Techstar is not only just a place where you come buy your metal. It's like we're here for you personally.
yeah,
Like for clients and employees alike, man. We have a lot of guys that we've stopped and prayed with. On the client side, and then on the internal, like we'll have our team meetings. We'll open with prayer and talk about things with each other that you don't just share with everybody, and we get to build into each other that way. Um, and likewise with our clients as well.
yep.
You do have a pretty tight knit team when I come in here. Everybody's picking on each other and
Yeah,
laughing and carrying on.
it's
It's
definitely
good. It's a good work environment.
it's a great culture, man, and which that starts with our headship as well.
Mm,
Uh, Robert and his family have really created that, and it's definitely shared here as well.
that's right.
So
And because it hasn't always been where I'd like to see it. We had to grow it, build it. It was a lot of work.
yeah.
Some people think I'm the firing king around here, but
Oh, no.
it's just
That's hilarious.
the thing is like when you're starting out and you're a small company, trying to build that core workforce is not easy. I don't think it's probably easy really anywhere in America right now. I think that's probably where most companies struggle the most is finding people that you can trust to be honest and do the right thing, no matter what it takes. It's really challenging to find those kinds of people. And once you do, you just want to try to take care of them. And then you find the one that wants to work harder than everyone else, and then you really want to take care of them. And so, well, I think we have a pretty good handle on those kinds of things, and it just helps so that way you can sleep better at night, I guess.
Yeah.
To have those kinds of people you can trust and rely on. And we're continuing to build our team and to make it better, and uh, so we'll get there one day at a time. But I think for now, I definitely could not complain about who we have in place to take care of our people.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's good.
It's just exciting to be a part of. There was a long portion of my life where I thought basically I'd be doing the exact same thing every day, till I'm dead one day, because who knows, right?
Yeah.
And Texar Metals for me personally, it's been such a light, to be a part of, and in the friendships and relationships we built. It's more than just a metal company.
That's right.
It really is a family. And I know there's like this whole cliche thing where everybody's like, oh, we're a family here. You see it on Facebook and people make jokes and stuff, but man, that's legitimate at this
Yeah.
place. I'm just proud to be a part of it.
Yeah. And I think just to kind of touch on what he said is like kind of proof of that is when we had taken over our other location, it had been going for a long time. And, there was a lot of concern there.
Yeah.
The people that were there, basically everyone stayed except for the one guy. He had chosen to leave. But they were like really concerned because they're like, we're a family here. And I said, well, that's how we look at ourselves too. And I really probably feel like to this day they would agree that we care about them as much as they were cared for before. And when you go and you see that transformation out there and just the fantastic job that they've been able to do and grow and change that location has just been phenomenal. And I think it speaks to the fact that we treat people better than just a number. You know, we want to know what are their struggles, how can we help them, how can we help them to grow, you know, whether it's financially or spiritually or whatever that might look like. So caring for people, I think, is a very important thing that a lot of companies have just let go by the wayside. And I think Techstar does a pretty good job of that.
That's good. I had one more on here I forgot to ask. This is not the only location. You've got, is there anything different about that location?
So basically at the
I mean,
other,
as far as how they function, I guess.
yeah. Well, so we do the other location, it's got a branch manager, and then there's some salespeople, and then we have it set up with a 10-foot brake and a shear, so they can make trim out there. And then they also have machines where we stock a little bit of panels out there. And so let's say that some client comes in and says, hey, I need 10 pieces of 10-foot galvanum, our panel, right? They can put that through their shear and then sell it to them right on the spot. Generally, though, we try to provide them with next day service. So let's say somebody comes in, puts in a decent size order, as long as it's before lunchtime, we have it to them the next day. And so that is more of just a satellite location that we manufacture a majority of the material here, and they are just more selling. They have all the screws, seal, any kind of closures, whatever that might look like, but the majority of their material would come from us the next day. So super convenient for the customer. And like I said, they do have their own brake. So if a customer comes in and says, hey, we need that 10-foot piece of trim in the next couple hours, they're able to facilitate that. So super, super excited about that. That has worked out extremely well. And Lord willing, we'll be able to continue to grow in other satellite locations.
And that's out in Mount Pleasant, right?
Yep, currently out in Mount Pleasant. Which doesn't seem like it's a far away, but the reality is we wouldn't be able to service our customers well. So when we originally bought it, we didn't know, hey, are we going to keep this location open, or are we going to combine the two locations, right? It just didn't make sense, because those customers were customers because they could go, you know, up the road and grab what they needed.
To a brick and mortar and be taken care of in person. It makes it more personable too.
Yeah.
You know, you get to deal with somebody face to face. And again, man, it goes back to the relationship side of things. We have guys that come in here and feel like this is their second home. It's the same way out there.
Yeah.
You have clients that feel that same way.
If you had a choice to put another location, where would you stick a?
That is,
I guess
probably
maybe that's a
secret.
strategic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a strategy there.
Okay.
But hey, stay
we do
tuned.
have a goal.
We'll find out.
To be able to open up another location sooner than later. I think that hopefully sometime next year we'll look into that. I'm not guaranteeing anything. I'm just saying it would be fantastic to continue to grow.
Yeah.